Look what Lady Lines just brought me. Brittany Lady Lines Barnes brought this down up from Louisiana for me. This is a 2014 Mini Cooper Paceman S ALL4. 4-wheel drive, 1.6 liter turbo, 6-speed manual transmission. In the beautiful blue with the white top. This is all factory original stuff. Took a little bit of a bonk here on a deer, but we can fix that. And the rest of it, there's a couple small dings. But other than that, she's a pretty good looking car. And it's got the saddle. I got the charger on it because the battery was dead, as you know. What's the man say? It's kind of a given. It's got the saddle and it's kind of a mess inside. It's been sitting for a minute since it broke. So here's the problem. You guessed it, timing chain. So we're hoping no valves got bent. About 10%. 10% that no valves got bent. 90% they did. So we can either do a brand new motor in this guy, not a brand new motor, LKQ for $2,500, or we can pull the motor, do the head swap, do the clutch while we're in there, and replace any valves that might be bent and kind of clean stuff up. So we're getting it charged up so I can empty the stuff out, and then we'll start exploring on it. I have to balance this work with Yellow Truck and Ranchero because both those guys need to get done pretty quick. But I can get this thing tore apart and then pushed off to the side and get parts ordered as needed, and then we can let it sit for a few weeks while parts are coming in. Anyway, I'm gonna do a couple things on this, get her started, get it, I'm not started, sorry, get it power charged, get it cleaned out, and we can get a better look inside once it's a little cleaner. It's pretty grotty in there, so yeah, there's that. All right, this is our next one. I know it's Bert's Ford factory, but you got to do a BMW every once in a while. All right, we're just doing the deep dive into the Mini. Had it up on the lift and looked real quick. Everything looks great underneath. It's got a little bit of an oil leak, probably from the valve cover. So we'll put that on the list of things to fix. Oil pan's gonna have to come off, make sure we got all the gunk out of the bottom. So we're gonna drain the oil, but I just started disassembling this because we got to get this bar out of the way, then this intake, and then this motor mount. So we're gonna leave the oil pan on so we can support the motor, because I don't have one of those fancy doodles for up here to hold the motor up. And then we can get to bolts and stuff on the front to get those chains out. So that's what we're doing. And once we find out exactly what's broken, maybe get the chains out of the way so it'll turn over, we'll do a compression check, see if we bent valves. 10% chance we didn't. We're holding out hope. All right, here we go. Hey guys, working on the 2013 Paceman ALL4 S. Got the timing chain and stuff out. It's a mess. It actually broke. It's supposed to be one piece. It's in two. Here's the two side, left and right guides, front and rear, however you want to look at it. This is a piece of the top guide. It got twangled up. I think that top guide wore through, got down in there, and that's what caused it to break the chain. Here's the pulley for the bottom guide. This is the oil doodle that goes in the side, and its spring is completely trashed. I went ahead and took the cams completely out because here's the top guide. This is what it looked like when I opened the valve cover. Anyway, so then we tried to do a compression check on the motor. The starter must be bad because it will not turn over at all. I'm hoping it's the starter and not some security thing, but everything else works. On the dash lights up and doors lock and unlock and all that. So I just pressurized all 4 cylinders, and this is the only one that didn't just blow air through it. So it looks like we got bent valves on at least 3 cylinders. That was to be expected, though. I was hoping for good news, but let's see if you can look down in there and see if you can see the oil dipstick tube way down there. It just got kind of crushed a little bit, so I need to do some work on that. And then there's a metal aluminum guide part that goes between the 2 chains that is also slightly compromised. I'm gonna get in there and file those down a little bit, clean them up. But we're gonna, next step is I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull the motor. I might take everything off and see about taking the head off that way, but it just seems like it's going to be easier to get the exhaust and the exhaust off and everything, and place the new head with the motor out. But I'll do some thinking on that, and I'll keep you guys up to date. But some of the stuff I took off because I just wanted to, well, this had to be moved, so I took the lights out and stuff. But yeah, anyway, it's moving along, and I'll keep you up to date. Probably definitely will end up putting a different head on or rebuilding that head, and then new timing chain. And I already replaced the battery, which I'm going to disconnect now because it was completely dead. Yeah, making progress. All right, might have been easier just to disconnect the AC and pull the whole motor, but this is the path I chose. I tried to leave the AC connected. I can access to get the head off in here now. But this was a struggle, man. They did not want that thing to come off. I don't know why BMW made it so hard. There's rivets that you have to pull out here, plastic rivets, to get this off, and you're gonna break a couple clips because those clips are really solid. And I did take some stuff off that didn't need to be taken off, but just getting the bumper cover off was a struggle for me. Anyway, found a piece that was broken. Got it ordered, a big cross member piece. And now I have access to a lot of stuff, so I'm happy. We're going to start tearing in, trying to get this head off. So exhaust first, exhaust and turbo, then try and get the head off, and then see where we're at. Alrighty, well, this worked out fine. It's a little bit difficult to get the condenser off, which is why I didn't. It kind of goes through the, on this model, it goes through the core plastic, and it's a thing. So this is fine. Got the head off. There's a bolt underneath. Way down here. Let me turn the light on here. It's way down here. You have to go, way down here. That's the throttle body. So it's right there. You have to go through the fender well to get it. And then you can get the, your rest of your bolts off are obvious. For the intake manifold. Stupid place for the starter, by the way. Yeah, this is look at this. It's got like a dust, crusty dust. I don't know if that's was on the top of the pistons, and then when it went sideways, it you see it's like a, when the valves hit them, it maybe busted it loose or something. I don't know. I've seen that on that Kia also. It's like carbon buildup. Got the head broke down. We're gonna start cleaning it, and then I got to take the valves off. I leveled it. You can see the mess on the floor. I leveled it, put mineral spirits in the combustion chambers with the spark plugs in. That's why the spark plugs are back in. And 3 of the, just like we suggested, tested with the air, 3 of the cylinders had compromised valves. That's why I took the whole head apart. You don't usually do this, but I'm going to put it in the cleaner, and I don't want any electronics and stuff in there, or the solenoids. So I'm going to clean it up, pull those valves out. We got some new valves over here and seals, so we'll put those back in, try to get that done tonight, and then reassemble the head. And then if we can get the head reassembled tonight, then we'll put her back on. No blown head gasket, so I'm not have to surface it or anything. Just the valves and the timing chain. We also got a timing kit, oil pan gasket, whole full gasket set, valves, new head bolts, timing kit, and I'm waiting on the new oil pump. I just don't trust the fact that the oil pump's clean enough to go back on with all the little plastic pieces that went through it. So we'll clean this up a little bit, see if we can get that head revalved tonight, and then go from there. Right on. All right, working on the Mini again. Not sure where we left off. I got this guy cleaned up. I hit it with a fine block stone just to get some of the stuff off, so it's nice and clean. Wire brush these guys. We're going to take these valves out, put the new ones in. Hopefully they're the right ones. Got the compound out for lapping them in. I'm not sure which tool I'm going to use. I think this one worked good last time. I see the adapter on there, so these are from Goodson. They make plastic ones, you know, if you're just using one or two heads or you're not going to do a bunch. They also make metal ones. Anyway, yeah, we're going to get this started. Let's see if we can get this head reconditioned and maybe bolted on today. Well, as is always the hassle with cars that you don't know anything about, I ordered the valves for this proper car. Intake valves. There's the part number. It turns out either this head has been replaced or the motor's been replaced, because there's the intake valves. You can see the difference there. A little bit taller, and the heads are a little bit smaller. These are from like a R53. This head, like from an R53 or a John Cooper Motorworks head. They're 30 millimeter instead of 28, and they're 94 long instead of 103, I think, 103. Anyway, yeah, they're different. So I'm going to go ahead and do the exhaust side and get it done, but the intake is going to have to wait. The only person who had 8 of these in stock was over in England. So there's that. And that is hard to do when you get down to it and you try to find a part on something you don't know the actual part. It's difficult. I'm going to go ahead and take a snapshot of this guy and see what it says, because that's got some part numbers on it. Hit it with some light sandpaper and see what happens. But yeah, so we're going to do the exhaust side, get those cleaned up and replaced, and then we'll have to set this aside and wait for stuff from England to finish the intake side, and then start again. Alright, just showing you pretty quick. This is just a refinishing. So you're putting new valves in, so concentricity is important. You got to check it, but also you want to make a good seal. So you see this down here is shiny, and this up here is gray. So the last valve is lapped in, nice wide seal, and then you know it's sealing. Of course, we'll check it with water when we get the springs in. But so the next one is, see, this is shiny here and shiny here. Now I'm going to do one, and I'll lap one in and then show you the difference. All right, now you can see it's gray. That's about 3/16. And here's the valve. I'm going to do one more iteration, so I'm using the fine because these are really smooth and they fit nicely. I'm using the fine, so I put it on there in about 4 different spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, just a little bit. Then I lapped it in with the tool for about, I don't know, a minute. And then that's where I got. So I can still see a little imperfection right there. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. And these are the exhaust valves, so the seats are a little bit rougher than the intake because of the carbon and stuff. Anyway, keep going. Alright, mineral spirits in. Let's see if I can, yeah, a little hard to see, but just checking them for leaks. We'll let it set for about a half hour, look for moisture inside, and well, let's see if we can do that. Yeah, anyway, look for moisture inside, but I think that the valve problem is resolved. Just looking at it, like before, it was just dripping out, so we'll give it a shot. Clean that up, and then time to put the rest of the head together, and then maybe get it bolted on in a little while. Alright, I didn't know it took a special tool, and apparently they're expensive to put this on, but I just used a piece of aluminum. Goes right here. I'm sorry. Oh, I apologize. First of all, take this screw out. And then the piece of aluminum come out. Goes right there. Doesn't matter that you can't see the screw hole. Then that goes there. And then use these two guys to go through here with this piece of all thread. Like that. And then you pry down, and then you have a second person put the screw in. So I'm going to film that, and then you can see what's going on.
You got the wrong.
What's that?
Wrong side up here.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gotta make sure that the springs are in those notches down there. Usually one goes in and the other one doesn't. That's true here. And then pry down. Okay.
From this side. Nope, wiggle it. That's what she said.
Should be right on. Okay. Make sure your angle is right.
There we go. Is it in yet?
Cool. And now that's in.
I'm done, right?
Si, senora. Thank you.
Yep.
And then we're going to torque it. Oh, sorry. Gotta get that out first. Not bad. Screwdriver and hammer. And you just tap that guy out from the side. About that. Now I'll put it down. All right. Make sure that those guys are latched down in there. Man, it's hard to see, but yep, it's latched. Make sure that one's latched. Yep, and they're all in. I'll double check all my torque settings, and now it's ready to do some other timing stuff. Hey guys, don't forget to stop by the shop and at www.bertsfordfactory.com. Pick up some merch. These are the two shirts that we have available, the Red Ranchero and the Yellow Truck. And of course, you know, it just helps us build cooler stuff and have fun. Thanks guys. Well, that's that. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.